Superman is written and directed by James Gunn and is the second reboot of the Superman film series and the first film of the DCU. It stars David Corenswet as Clark Kent, Superman, the titular character, alongside Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gathegi, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabela Merced. Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent, as the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way. He soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned. Superman has always been a lot to me. Of course, seeing the Christopher Reeve films on VHS during the 90s, uh, the the original Donner film is second to none. The second film, which was directed mostly by him, but also Drew Lester and, of course, 3 and 4. And I watched Smallville over the years, but my favorite DC Comics property of all time for my entire life has always been their animated movies and TV shows. And as a kid, I remember watching on Saturday morning cartoons, and there was a DC Comics blog with Batman Beyond and Static Shock and Crypto the Superdome, the animated series. And I think that's why I enjoyed this movie as much as I did, because James Gunn's approach to Superman feels the most like that animated series that I've ever seen in live action. Except for Lex Luthor, he's not like a bodybuilder like he was in the animated shows. Uh, that's always been my favorite Lex Luthor. Clancy Brown is the GOAT. And as much as I like the legendary Gene Hackman and Richard Donner's original film, rest in peace. But by the way, what an absolute loss and what a tragedy, actually. Nicholas Holt's portrayal of Lex Luthor is my favorite live action Lex Luthor I think we've ever gotten in a career defining performance. He actually feels like a bad person. He doesn't feel like a villain that this movie has conjured up to be an evil threat to our hero. He actually feels like someone who would destroy our planet if it means serving his own humanity or finding a way to make Superman look bad. I loved him in this movie and I thought he was really terrific. Let's talk a little bit about David Corenswet as Superman. I loved him as Superman. This feels very much like Superman to me, and I liked him. And again, I liked Christopher Reeve as a kid. I enjoyed Tom Holland's portrayal, even, but I've always been someone who looks for the good in performers that try their best to bring something different to each iteration of Superman. Tyler Hoechlin's Superman from Superman and Lois was my favorite until this one. And Henry Cavill did a great job as Superman and Clark Kent. He always never got a fair shake in my eyes, at least. But Corenswet, he fills those boots excellently. He's funny in the movie. He's likable. He's great in the action scenes. the flying sequences look very good, and he feels like someone who was actually raised by two kind of farmers in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. That's my favorite thing about this portrayal, and the way Gunn wrote him here. He feels 100% like a small town guy who just so happens to have these powers, and that's what I love about Superman. It's not about his Kryptonian heritage and how he was meant to pretend, and all these types of things we're so used to hearing in a Superman or in a comic. It, it it's really the focus on Pa and Ma doing a good job as parents. That's something about this movie that really touched me and actually snuck up on me, emotionally, because the way he was raised in that, just because of a blind faith ideology and what he's supposed to do for our planet and for our people. He's that that way because he had a set of good parents that who cared about him. And we need to talk about Pruitt Henderance. This man has 109 credits to his name, and I still feel like he's an underappreciated actor. So it's really awesome to see him here as Pa Kent. It's like, good on you, James Gunn, for casting him. He's a great actor. Rachel Brosnahan is excellent as Lois Lane. She feels like that hard-edged reporter who's going to find the truth no matter what, and she doesn't care about all the noise. There's a sequence in this movie where Metropolis is literally being destroyed. Everyone's just running around and evacuating in the Daily Planet, and she's just there with her papers trying to make sure she gets the article right. I thought that was heart and soul of the character. Then there's the Justice Gang in the film. Nathan Fillion, it's Guy Gardner, it's Merced as Hot Girl. I think it's Kara Hall, and uh, and any Gathegi. I know I goofed on it. It's Mr. A character I know a little about from watching Arrow and um uh Justice League. He had a lot of the best laughs in the movie. I loved this movie. However, I did have some issues with it. Unfortunately, I can't really go into detail about it without going into spoilers territory. Um, I'm I am planning on a spoiler review anyway. Um, but what I can say about my negatives without going into spoilers is the first 5 minutes of the movie didn't work for me. Your mileage may vary on this. Let's talk crypto for this last bit. He is the goodest boy and the real MVP of the movie. He is a great comedy relief, and what he leads into towards the end, because he gets reunited with his owner, his actual owner. Um, I cannot wait to see what happens. Um, Honestly, I had an amazing time with this movie, and if this is that's the start of the DCU, the future of DC comic adaptations are in the right hands. I'm going to give Superman an A plus. There are cameos in this movie I cannot wait to talk about in spoiler review. Uh, my God. Uh, This movie was spectacular. It was super. It was. I'm speechless. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've seen it, what did you think of Superman? Let me know down below in the comments, and look forward to my spoiler review, which is probably going to come out in a week or so, just to give enough time for people to go see the film. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until the next video, I will see you all very soon.
Preview. Preview.